Hi, I'm Sunita Rodrigues. I love my kids, my husband, my job, and I love to cook. My mantra is to cook it simple, to cook it good, and to cook it with soul. I've trained as a chef at the Taj Group of Hotels and traveled to food festivals all over the globe. My tactics and tricks hold the secret to cooking up happy times. Join me on Meals on the Run with Sunita. It's always a challenge to prepare some good meals for a children's party, something that looks great as well as is nutritionally healthy. Today we're going to cover a whole range of recipes that are sure to make you a hit with your children and their friends. I'm going to show you some really stress-free recipes for some exotic and simple food. Look at that lovely color. Who could ask for anything more? We're going to start out with some sticky chicken wings, followed by some yummy chocolate stones. After that, we're going to move on to some spiked penne with prawns, and of course, some funky little pizzas. So let's start with the sticky chicken wings. I have here a couple of chicken wings that I've removed the skin. A little bit of salt to start out with. Some lime is always a great combo. Some ginger garlic paste. This is something most of you would have in your house. And if you don't, then I recommend you do, because it's extremely handy and can be used for almost anything. A little bit of soya sauce. About a teaspoon. And some chili powder. I'm not going to add too much because I'm going to make it for kids. Mix that up just a little bit. The great thing about chicken wings is that they're so small, they're quick to make, and they're always a favorite. So while that is marinating, I'm going to fire up a pan. Put in a little bit of vegetable oil. In go these chicken wings. I think it's a great finger food even for adults or for a picnic. It's a favorite for people of all ages. You know, every time I buy chicken in the house, I actually divide it into different parts so that I can use it for different reasons. So I'll buy, say, 2 chickens. I'll keep all the wings separate so I can make a nice dish of chicken wings. And I'll keep the breast separate so I can make something boneless. You can get a whole lot out of just one whole chicken if you plan just a little bit in advance. Well, if your wings are not yet ready and you feel that they're burning, then you can add just a little bit of moisture there to let it cook. You got to make sure that it's cooked right through to the bone. I'm going to now add honey, 1 teaspoon. And that's what actually makes this chicken nice and sweet and sticky. You can make out when the wings are cooked, when it stops oozing out liquid. You can smell the honey. Now I'm going to keep some of this sticky sauce because I know that kids love to dunk it into that. And they're very quickly going to put this on a plate. So, very effortlessly and without any stress at all, I'm just going to thicken the sauce just a little bit with some more honey. Just a dab more there. I want it nice and thick and gooey, and it goes right on top of those wings. A really quick dish you could prepare. I'm going to top it with some toasted sesame seeds. Give that added crunch, and voila, we're done. Sticky chicken wings, prepared in so little time and such a huge hit with the entire family. They're tender, they're sticky, they're nice, the sesame seeds toasted on them. This is really excellent for your kids and family. We're going to go on to our dessert. which I'm going to start right now before my main course because it needs a little bit of chilling. So if you plan a little bit in advance, you can get all your jobs done in a really short while. My yummy chocolate stones. I'm going to start out with melting the chocolate. For that, I need a double boiler. I'm using a frying pan and a saucepan. I put some water at the bottom. I'm just going to make sure it gets hot, but don't allow it to boil. Now, while the water's getting hot, I'm quickly going to cut up some nuts. Basically, what I've tried to do is put together a whole lot of ingredients that are popular with kids. It's a very simple recipe. Chop, mix, and set. Well, my water is already hot, so I'm just going to put in about 250 grams of chocolate. I'm using milk chocolate here. A couple of walnuts that I'm going to quickly chop. To blanch them, you just got to put them in boiling water just for about a minute. Remove it out, and the skin peels off really, really easily. In go the walnuts. The apricots, I'm going to use my scissors. These stones are perfect for gifting, either for Christmas or Diwali. And now some marshmallows. I prefer to snip the marshmallows in because they tend to get a little sticky when I cut them with a knife. Put in as many colors as you possibly can. My chocolate is beginning to melt. Just love the look of melting chocolate. Try not to abandon your chocolate once it starts to melt. Remove out all possible lumps. My chocolate is melted. Oh, the aroma of melted chocolate makes me go totally weak in the knees. That's done. I have here a nice tray that I've lined with some butter paper. And I'm going to very, very gently just brush this with a little bit of vegetable oil, just so that it's easy to get these stones out. And now, as I said, just 3 steps: chop, mix, and make. So in that goes all those lovely marshmallows and nuts and dried fruit. And give that a nice good swirl. Let the chocolate totally coat. You know, you could even make this and keep it in your fridge if your kid goes to school, and put one little message in their tiffin. I know I leave messages for my kids' tiffin and they really love it. I'm going to just get a small little teaspoon, make small little ones. Going to get over really, really fast. And put this like little stones. Look at all that chocolate and marshmallows. Cooking is no rocket science. You just need to love good food, be a little passionate about it, and you're done. Well, these are done, and all that is required is chilling in the refrigerator. So I'm just going to leave it here for some time. When we come back, I'm going to show you my spiked penne with prawns. So don't go away. I'm now going to go on to my main course, my spiked penne with prawns. We're going to start out with a pot of water for the pasta. I have here nice 6 big jumbo prawns. Put in just a little bit of salt and keep them aside. They've been washed and deveined, so that's not a problem. And now to get on with my sauce. I start out with a bowl full of tomatoes. I'm going to quickly just chop this up roughly. Now, making tomato sauce is one of the easiest things in the whole wide world. And you don't really need to go out and get a store-bought jar of tomato sauce. And I'm not going to chop it. I'm just going to put it into my mixie out here. So Simple and fast, saves you all the possible time in the world. I'm making just a little bit tomato sauce because I'm keeping some for my next dish. I'm going to take this very quickly. Just enough. And that's it. And now to make the sauce, I begin with just a little bit of olive oil. I have some nice fat cloves of garlic. Just going to quickly do this, put all my strength on it. Some kind of exercise is good. So I've got all this garlic chopped up, but my water is boiling, so I'm going to put a whole lot of salt inside there. Make sure that you put enough salt for your pasta, as much as you would put for rice, maybe a little bit more. You want the salt to go all right in and taste really good. I'm going to put in just a little bit of vegetable oil. Just make sure that the pasta does not stick to each other. Into my pan, as you can see, the olive oil is hot, so in goes my garlic. Don't let it brown, just let it sweat a little bit, and a little bit of finely chopped onion. So that's done. I don't want that to get brown. And in goes my tomatoes, and just look at that lovely color. I mean, it's so rewarding to cook. Leave that for just a little while and give your pasta a nice little stir. The pasta is going to take just a little while. Well, my sauce is done. Let's make the sauce for this pasta first. Just a little bit of olive oil. Just a little bit of onion. Put in those nice plump prawns. You can do this with a mixture of seafood. If you have some calamari, some clams or mussels, it's like a fruit of the sea. Everything all together, mixed up with the tomato sauce. These are going to take a little while to get done. I'm just going to check on my pasta. Now, how are you going to know if the pasta is done? You can see that it has a little white part here. That means it's not yet done, but this side's almost done. So my pasta in about 30 seconds is good to go. Don't worry about keeping it raw because it's going to keep on cooking even after you actually remove it off the fire. So let's put that off and very quickly strain it out. If you cook pasta in this way, you don't even have to actually put it under running water. It's just going to continue cooking, and by the time it's done, it's going to be at the correct consistency. I'm going to spike this up a little bit, so I want some chili flakes. I'm going to add just a little red tomato sauce into this, and I'm keeping some aside, as I said, for my next dish. So now the flavor of the olive oils and the prawn and the tomatoes all mixes up and blends together till they're all merged into one lovely, tasty sauce. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and some freshly crushed pepper. Believe me, the flavor of the pepper that you make at home is definitely better than something that you would buy in a store. You can also make this dish with white sauce, that is a cheese-based sauce, but I personally prefer this healthier version of penne. A little bit of basil that I'm very quickly going to use my best friend to snip it in. And look at that color there. If your sauce is drying up, you can always add just a little bit of water. I'm just going to taste and see if my seasoning is okay. Just a little bit of salt. Look at those prawns, they're so nice and plump. Now, this is almost done. All I need to do is just toss my pasta. So in goes my pasta. A little bit of olive oil on top. Mix this up and let all that juicy sauce get into that penne, and it's a joy eating both the pasta and the sauce. So, simple. All that's left to do is now put it onto a plate, of course, to dig into it. And look at those lovely prawns there. And you can see the penne is already stuffed to the brim with all that yummy sauce. So just put some cheese on top. too much. And a nice big sprig of basil. Simple, easy and quick spiked penne with prawns. Lovely tomato, prawn flavor. I mean, no wonder the Italians are so romantic. After food like this, who wouldn't be in the mood for romance? But you don't go anywhere, because coming up are my funky pizzas that I've kept some sauce aside a little earlier. I always believe you don't need fancy ingredients to prepare a great meal. So today I'm going to make some nice, funky mini pizzas. I have a baguette that I'm going to cut into nice, about ½ inch slices. And I'm going to put it in my grill that I've already preheated just to lightly toast. In that goes. I've kept a little of the sauce of the penne aside because I wanted to use this as a topping for the pizzas. Just gonna thicken it a little bit. I don't want the water because the water would make the little mini pizzas soggy. But the thought of eating a whole pizza probably may not appeal to everyone, so little mini pizzas are perfect little starters, any kind of occasion. Put in a little bit of olive oil. While that's getting done, I'm now gonna get down to my next few ingredients. I have here some nice bell peppers that I've chopped finely. I'm using a riot of colors here. I've got yellow, I've got green. I have some nice black olives that I'm going to chop up into small pieces, pretty much the same size as the bell peppers. In that goes too. And as you can see, my sauce is now thickening up. I need to just season this with a little salt, a little crushed pepper, a little bit of oregano, and a few snippets of basil. Snip, snip, snip away, and your basic sauce is done. So at one go, we use one ingredient and we combine it and make it into two different things. One more ingredient to add into this. I like the way mozzarella cheese totally melts onto the pizza. I'm cutting it into small little cubes. In goes the cheese. Now to this, I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil, some salt, and a little more oregano. Toss this up, and it is done. I'm going to check on my little pieces of toast. They're ready, toasted nicely on both sides. And all I need to do now is to just put on the topping and put it back into the oven. A little bit of this gorgeous red tomato sauce. Be generous. It's very important to choose the right kind of tomatoes when you're making tomato sauce. When you're choosing tomatoes, you choose the ones that are red, really ripe, ones that you probably would have to finish off that day itself. Now for my topping, very lightly put this on top. Olives on the top. All I need to do now is to just put these back into the oven. So very quickly, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on the top. The extra olive oil will soak up nicely in the bread. And in that goes back in my oven till the cheese just about melts. And in the meantime, I'm going to go and feed my fish. I'm sure my funky mini pizzas are ready by now. I'm just going to go and take a look. And they are nice and brown. I get to taste it later. I'm just going to quickly put this, pour over some little olive oil, some basil, and voila. Very simple, really quick, and a sure hit with your kids and family. My funky mini pizzas. And I'm going to put one in my mouth right now because I can't wait any longer. It's crunchy. The cheese is melted so nicely on the top and mixed with the bell peppers and the tomato. I'd just as easily settle for this pizza any day. Well, as promised, my chocolate stones are done. And they look oh so yummy. Just look at them. Looking really, really lovely. I have these nice little origami boxes. You can get your kids to make some. And these chocolates go ever so nicely inside. You know, a perfect little takeaway. So easy and simple. Yummy chocolate stones. I'm just going to taste one. It's yum. Those lovely marshmallows and the nuts coated with chocolates. Who could ask for anything more? So today, we very effortlessly conjured up a whole fun-packed kiddies menu, starting with a little sticky chicken wings, followed by the yummy chocolate stones, and of course the spiked penne with prawns, and to top it all, these funky little mini pizzas. If you want some more great, simple, easy, yet fun recipes, then join me next time for Meals on the Run.